Before today's video begins, today's kind of a cool video, and so if you like what you see, make sure that you subscribe, you leave me a comment telling me that you're along for the journey. Hopefully this car is done soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let's get into the video. All right, welcome back, everybody. Today, well, not really welcome back. I guess this is probably the first time you guys have been here, and this is actually our shop. My dad and brother own a machine shop, and so we're here doing some work today. Today, though, you are not going to have the pleasure of me bringing you through what we're doing and kind of talking as we're going because we're very limited on our time today. So instead, I have my good friend Greg at home. He's going to talk you through what we're doing. So we'll see you in a second. All right, thanks, Greg. So if you follow me on Instagram, you already know that we're creating a log-style header or log-style manifold. These are commonly used on turbo cars, but honestly, it was just kind of the easiest way for us to create our headers. So in this clip, we ended up buying a bunch of these U-shaped 1.5-inch tubes. And so here we're just using the bandsaw to cut it down so that we have a nice flat surface to be working with. And this is going to be our furthest exhaust port from the front of the engine, and this is where the log is going to start. The rest are just going to come from each port and enter this log. So this is just us cutting it, and like I said, we chose this style because it was the easiest. You know, with the little amount of room we actually have in the car, you guys know that it's tough. So to make the parts that go for piston 1, 2, and 3, basically we also have these, this kind of 90. And this would be like using a 1.5-inch hole saw to just kind of cut the hole. Luckily, we have these machines available to us, so my brother programmed this to cut that. So we did that with all 3 of the other pistons. With the original flange that attaches the header to the engine, it wasn't really working for what we wanted. So my brother's just helped me create a new one here. He's great with these machines. He works on them every day. So he knows how to program them properly to do exactly what we want. And so here, that's what we're doing. We drilled the holes to match just so the header bolts would still work. And now we're drilling 1.5-inch holes just so that our pipes will fit in it and it'll be easy to weld around. This actually ended up working perfectly, as you'll see later in the video. So props to my brother Chris. If you haven't already, go follow his Instagram. It's at littlegreenmg. Anyways, Greg's talking now. We'll hit it back in. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little look at the shop and some of the machining that we did there. That's not normally stuff we do at the shop, but it was just kind of a cool way to use the tools that we had. So let me show you the kind of final product and then what we're going to be doing today. So this is what we ended up making at the shop. This is what we cut that first clip on the bandsaw, and then this is what we ended up doing on each of the parts of our log manifold here. So I already went and marked where these go. As you can see, it lines up really nice. All right, and so these will all go into those holes. It's all measured out. Everything works good. But obviously, we can't just weld these on. We have to cut out these holes so that obviously the exhaust can come through. Then we need to cut these down. We need to weld it onto our plate that we made. Not much else to it. Let's get to work. Here's some of the tools we're going to be using today. We got some drills with some bits I got to grab. We have some cutters. We have the angle grinder. I want to be as accurate as I can cutting these out, but I also don't have a plasma cutter or anything like really fine to just cut these out, so I kind of got to make do with what I got. Let's get to that. Let's get to welding. Let's have some fun. right, so we have our rough cuts now. Obviously that's not perfect. And I also want to say, I don't know if I've mentioned this in the video already, I know that this is not the most efficient header in the world. I know that it's normally used with turbochargers as well. And I know that it's not ideal. But you guys have seen my build. I'm not doing everything the ideal way. I'm doing it so that I can learn. I'm doing it so that I can do it myself. And this is something I can tackle myself. You know, the reason that I've left the headers till now is because they've frightened me. I have no clue how to do it. I'm not too concerned about, like, you know, the safety of it. I'm not used to working with stuff like this. So this is something that was easy for me, and I'm pretty pumped. So let's get these looking a little nicer and let's start welding. All right, we got it somewhat cleaned up. I realized that I should have left a little bit more of an edge, kind of inward from where I drew the Sharpie lines. So I'm actually gonna leave it how it is. Honestly, the holes are open. They're good to go. We're gonna start welding. So in something like this, if I had to give you some advice, if you know how to weld, TIG welding would definitely be the better way to do this. It's normally a flat weld, it's a softer weld, it's a stronger weld, even though it's softer, if that makes sense. I'm not good at TIGging. Every time I've tried, the very first time I tried, I laid a beautiful flat bead, it was awesome. Every time since, I've just burned right through whatever I'm trying to weld. So I'm gonna be MIGging today, I'm gonna be grinding it down. Is it gonna look the best? No. Do I have more confidence that I'll be able to seal this and that it'll be a strong seal? Slightly. Slightly more confident. So that's what we're going to be doing. Like I said, is it the proper way? Probably not, but we don't do things proper here. So let's get into it. Enjoy. All right, so the welding's done. I tried to clean it up a bit. Honestly, it doesn't look great, but the good news is we are wrapping this in exhaust wrap, so it doesn't really matter how it looks. But let's take a look. I threw a piece of tape down here because we are going to be cutting it so that we can weld it into here. But here it is. Not too bad. The other side definitely doesn't matter because it's won't be seen. So I'm going to cut this now, and then we're going to weld it to our flange there. So while I was welding, anytime you're welding, especially thin material, metal warps, right? As you're heating it up, that weld attaches to the metal and it shrinks and it ends up warping the metal. And so what was lined up perfectly ended up not being lined up. So off camera, I had to make some adjustments, but we are pretty well where we need to be now. There are some gaps I'm gonna attack, and then I'm going to I'm gonna fix it. It'll be okay. So that's what you're gonna see now. Enjoy. So here it is. Here's the underside, the side we won't actually be seeing. Not terrible, but should do. And the side that we will see. Definitely, I don't think it's as good as the other side, but like I said, it will do. Whew, that was a process. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I don't know what else to say. That was tough. Not a lot of like explanation. I'm still learning how to weld. So hopefully you guys, if you are a welder by trade or if you're good at welding, you did not cringe through all this. Hopefully you made it this far. I don't know if I would have if I was a good welder, but anyways, that's it. I'm going to, once it cools down, I'm gonna throw it on the car, see how it looks, and I'll show you guys that. And then that'll be it for today. So here's that clip right now. All right, and here we go. It fits. I was able to get it on. The clearance is pretty tight here, but I was able to do it. I don't have the nuts on yet, but that is it. It doesn't seem to interfere with anything. Everything is like out of its way. I have figured out, by the way, how I'm gonna move that over there, so don't worry about the exhaust coming out right at the intake. But yeah, now I just gotta figure out where everything else goes, but there are the headers. That's a beautiful thing. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a fantastic night. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please follow me on Instagram. There's a lot of updates there. But most importantly, don't forget to be you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.